Looks like we're all good and all on the clear. We are a go, I believe. I hope everybody can see us. Uh, I'm not seeing us on the YouTube side. It says good connection. I think we're good.
I just got a notification that you're live now.
Okay, cool. I see it. All right, there we go. Welcome, guys. I mean, it's been a week since the series finale of Mayans MC. I am here once again for the final time discussing this Mayan show. That doesn't mean the final time if there is any spin-offs in the future. And of course, we have discussed of doing a Snowfall podcast for you guys as well if you like that show. But we are all about the Mayan series finale today. Welcome aboard once again, SOA Sandra. How are you doing, Sandra?
I'm in the midst of a move, so that's where I am right now. I'm in the middle of boxes.
All right. I just got back from Comic Con. I took a well needed vacation. It was a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of cool stuff. Bought some stuff, but it's everything went by so quick, of course. But I did get to catch the. I did watch the episode before I left to Comic Con. But I have some time to think about the overall series finale, the overall finale of the season, and I do have some thoughts, but let me just blow up. Let's see, there we go. Blow that up a little bit more. I want you guys to comment below. This is a podcast where I want to hear what your guys' thoughts on the series as a whole, and then overall the finale of the series. Did you think it worked? Did you not? This has been this series. This season has gone pretty quick. We and this whole 5 seasons. I know a lot of people say maybe it needed 2 more seasons, this and that. They were never going to get 2 more seasons. This was it. This was their last shot to really kind of bring in a lot of the storylines, to end a lot of the storylines, to really kind of just end the have everybody go off either to the sunset or to their graves. And this is going to be a spoiler discussion, so of course I'm assuming everybody has seen this. Sandra,
Yes.
it's been 5 seasons equals 5 years. We have been talking about this. And overall, how did you feel how Elgin James ended it? Were you satisfied? Are you satisfied or were you unsatisfied about this ending?
So I actually rewatched the episode 2 hours ago,
Mm-hmm.
so it's fresh in my head, and I cannot believe that it's been 5 years that we've been doing this. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I hated it. Hated it. It did not definitely not satisfy me. It The finale was exactly the same way as the whole series. Didn't make sense. We didn't get the answers that we wanted. Stuff got left out without what was happening now. I was very disappointing with the way the show ended. The only thing that we all were on the same line is that Easy was going to die. So we all were in agreement on that. But I did not like the way they ended the show at all. What about you?
I didn't. If it was just like once again, if it was a, it's kind of hard. The episode was fine in my opinion. I did enjoy some aspects to it. But if you're talking about a series finale for, all this culminating to a ending for these characters, I did call it. I said most likely everybody was going to die. Uh, my stance on Angel dying from the beginning of the series, now from coming to the end, I did realize like he's probably going to live because of Maverick, and then especially since Adelita died in this season, you got to at least have one parent. I think Felipe's sacrifice was great in the previous episode. The overall, I mean, I've been wanting this series to end already. I just know there's no sugar coating it. I just think the series needed to end. It did not need any more. If it had two more seasons, I feel like the writers and Elgin James would have wasted those two seasons anyway. For what it was, I did kind of enjoy it just because of the brutality of it. So of Easy pretty much getting his Caesar moment where they're all stabbing the shit out of him, and Bishop. I love the Bishop line says, "You're not the only one that reads Shakespeare, motherfucker." That was great. The Emily, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen with Emily's storyline and Miguel's storyline. Anticlimactic for Miguel, but I did say once again that that gun was going to come into play later on in the season, and it did. And I did say at one point that she would probably take out the bodyguard, which she did, but also Miguel. It was like kind of a wish wash, so I didn't know if I wasn't 100% confident if that was going to happen or not. I kind of felt like maybe maybe they will like kind of run away together or something. Um, the most brutal thing about this episode was Sophia. I felt it so unnecessary to just to reveal that she was pregnant and to kill her off and Bottles doing it was very unnecessary. I mean, you could have still had the same impact without her being pregnant. I kind of got why they did it so they can have the tragic effect of Easy and everybody close to him kind of goes except Angel, but that still was, I mean, it was so rushed and it was just very unnecessary. The demise of Isaac was the most painful thing to watch. It was just so stupid to bring this guy in, this villain in for these past couple seasons and to end it like that. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I've seen a lot of stupid stuff, but that's one of the stupidest things I've seen written for a show. Another thing was also that I just the war aspect. Where was the war? Like you're telling me they took out Isaac and his crew and that was it? Like that was the big thing, and now they won the war. It was really ridiculous. I do think the acting was very good in this episode. I think JD Pardo did a good job with the speech and stuff. I think a lot of people brought their A games on the acting wise. I know a lot of people are upset that Potter still lives. Um, a lot of people think that there's going to be spin-offs and something's going to happen down the line. I won't say there won't be, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. So with Potter living, I'm okay with that. Actually, I'm okay with Potter living. It's just the fact the execution of a lot of things that happened in this episode and series finale doesn't really feel like a series finale, or it felt really, really rushed. Um, I think a lot of people pointed out, and this is going to be the biggest, definitely the biggest discussion. And I want your guys' thoughts on the comment section below to let me know what you felt about this. But a lot of people are saying that how could Bishop believe in Cody and her, what she's saying is Easy's the rat when he let Taza go, who actually killed the brother. So like what that doesn't make any sense. Like how Bishop, I know Bishop hated Easy at this point, and he wanted to jump at the chance to just get him out of there. But to really rely on a Fed and to really, it just doesn't. It's just that the biker culture from Sons of Anarchy is nowhere near this series. Like it's just I think me, you, and Taylor said it in the past. Like this doesn't feel like the communication like they did on Sons of Anarchy, where everybody was at the table making rules or talking about rules, discussing or anything like that. This Mayan brotherhood never ever really felt like a brotherhood because you never got time with these characters or characters time with characters on characters. It's been kind of ridiculous. One more thing I want to point out too before hand it over to Sandra is that you have so many things that they presented in this season with the fact that happy endings for a lot of these characters. But another one that got it really bad was Hank. Hank was a no-show these last couple episodes. You bring in Nails, you bring in the mom situation, and where did that go to? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You bring a lot of stuff that happens to Gilly, but then when you're watching this episode, you're like, okay, like Gilly is a non-factor too. He's just had to be there because they had to kill Easy. So there was no emotion for me for any of these characters and their demise when they got raided. I just did not. It there was the only emotion I had was the fact that they just killed Sophia just like that. And then I got to do point out too another stupid thing that I when watching the episode was you have Letitia grab the dog, go into the Mayans trying to do something, which we know she ain't gonna do anything. Grabs the dog, sees Sophia is dead, goes back to the Broken Saints, who obviously knows she's probably the one that did all this, and then you leave it at that, a cliffhanger. You don't know what happens to her. Really poorly written, a poorly written series as a whole. Even with Kurt Sutter on board, maybe he could have done something. His vision would have been a little bit more realized. But even then, every season of the Mayans have just not been that great. It never reached the greatness that Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, and even shows today could reach, and that's a damn shame. I don't want to say this was a waste of my time because it wasn't. I got to meet all you guys, awesome people. I got to meet Sandra, so absolutely it wasn't a waste of my time. But it was definitely an unsatisfying watch for me throughout the whole series. And if I had to go back to watch one or two of the series, it would be Sons of Anarchy. It would just be Sons of Anarchy, and actually, I could just leave Mayans alone. Mayans alone doesn't really change anything in the perspective of Sons for me. It just was it was a waste. It was a waste, Sandra. This was a waste of series. There's other series out there that are far superior. I'm glad it's over. Very confusing on some of the decisions made for the series finale. And yeah, that's how I feel about the series. But I absolutely want to say that it wasn't a waste talking about it. I think the most fun I had with this series was talking it to everybody, making videos, talking to you, Sandra, talking to Taylor. So that was the joy I had for the series, was talking about the mess it laid, but also some of the good moments that it did uh, have in this series. So what do you think, Sandra? What's your thoughts on what was the one thing that just baffled you on the series finale? But what is the one thing you did like about the series finale?
Well, now you put me on the spot on the thing that I like the most. I cannot tell you because I have so much already in my mind to talk about. Um, let's talk about the way I saw it. Like when I rewatched it like 2 hours ago, and somebody brought it up also in the comment, is that this show created storylines and they never finished it. If you look at the series finale, the first thing was the pipeline. So Hank says, "What about the pipeline? Oh, I'm going to talk to Cole. I'm going to fix it." That was it. That's it. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to tell me that with Sam Crow knowing that Easy and Angel kill Happy, there's not going to be any revenge about that? That was done three episodes ago. Nothing. Then we have the whole. One thing I hated about this episode, hated, is when what's his name, the lonely sons from Bernardino, that was that the one that
Oh,
came to
Terry?
see them. Yeah, Terry.
Yeah.
So Terry had a meltdown with Jess's sister. He went to see Mayans to tell me where Jess is. I'm going to tell you what the father is.
Yeah.
What happened to your father? Okay. You could have like at least killed Terry in front of us, let him talk, finish that scene. Finish it. Don't leave it like that, like that's it. Carry on to the next the next scene. I hated that with a passion. So then we have like, so the whole Ah ha ha, let's go to the war, we're gonna kill. You gonna tell me after watching Sons that you can go into where they have a party and none of the sons gonna kill anybody, they all just gonna lay down and die? They kill every single one of them.
And then
But
they
no
came in.
my
They came in with
no
bats.
yeah, and no Mayans got injured. Nobody, everybody looked like nothing happened. I'm like, okay, this is wrong. This is stupid. Literally stupid. And like you said, Isaac was such a big character for the past 3 seasons. For him to die like that, no, no, no,
Um,
no, no. It doesn't work.
we also
It
have a
doesn't
big
work.
one. We have a big one. Since the beginning, we were wondering if Angel and Easy would find out that Miguel was their brother, or
The
Miguel
future,
would tell them. Never happened.
no. And Angel did see the pictures in his hand, but that's it. And I brought that to you since the time we found out about it. If that ever was going to be brought up at any time, nope.
Another one is there's a lot of things that Kurt Sutter started and Elgin James, I guess, refused to even deliver. So, uh, or he just didn't know where the hell it was going to go towards too, we do have the closure though of Angel and Easy. Angel wanted out. Easy gave him a way out. You have Angel at the end. He doesn't even have the Mayans. It's all blacked out. His tattoo. But to me, it's like, okay, they're not still. They know who you are. They know you're involved. It's still in the club. So how are you not getting? I think they said that he was in Mexico. So maybe he's run away from all the law enforcement and all that stuff. Um, there is a lot of just kind of like, I don't know. The one thing too that was tripping me out was when the one Mayan went to go pay a visit to one of the girls that worked at the,
Downer,
yeah, and then
downer.
yeah, and there was no, I would have never thought he would try to get her to go take an airplane, get out of here, give her money. Nah, they would have killed her. In realistic terms, they would have killed her. She kills him, and then that's how we get the raid and stuff. But Emily being an idiot for the final time. Emily being such an idiot for the final time. Miguel makes this deal. Miguel has to show up when they're having like the little meeting, the little powwow with Kathleen Kennedy and shit, the DA or whatever, and she thinks she has Potter done. Cocky. She's cocky about it. And what does Emily do? She fucks it all up. Now, my problem is that Emily and her son get to have a happy ending. Emily is
Mhm.
just as bad as McGill. She has killed, she has lied, she knew what she was getting into, yet she leaves scot free. So you feel bad for her because Miguel was always constantly watching her, this and that. The woman was just as bad. If anything, that kid should be away from both the parents and live another normal life, but that's not the case. Emily survives, and Emily once again, it's just it. I didn't care. I honestly didn't care about her story throughout the whole Mayans and stuff. Same with Letty, man. Letty's story was dumb as well. Didn't make did she was really stupid, like her decision making. But let's talk about Easy. Let's talk about Easy because he is the main character of the series, whether we like it or not. Well, you know what? Before we talk about Easy, I have to say one positive thing is the fact that Marcus Alvarez survives the whole Mayan series. Thank God. Uh,
Well, that, yes, but again, as much as his character was so big in season 1, in season 5 they made it like second string character.
yeah.
Like, I understand the whole baby thing and everything. That's fine. But what does that have anything to do with the whole, like, how he came in and Mayans and everything? It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
He pretty much retires. I think that's the last time we're gonna see
Yeah,
Marcus.
but it almost seems like they put that footage in the series finale because they needed to put him there. Because that had nothing to do with anything.
I didn't have a problem with it. Marcus's character's done. He's not with the Mayans no more. The Mayans are just like ceased to exist. That that
Antopadre is dead.
it is dead. Yes, they're dead. I still don't understand how easy really kind of like put over the Mayans because where's Charming, right? Where's Charming?
Well,
Where's all these other sons
everything
charters?
doesn't make sense anyway. But and okay, so I you know how picky I am with stuff like that. Like there's little things that nobody sees, it just oversees, and in me it bugs me.
Yeah.
Mayans are Mexican,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Yep.
They're Mexican. At the season one, it was all about Mexican and the whole history and everything. Why are you putting freaking uh, a Motorhead as the music background of the party? That doesn't make sense. You
Oh.
should have had your Mexican music.
I honestly didn't even think about that.
I I know that. But for me, if you're having a party because you won the war and you're Mayans and you have all your brothers Mayans, what are you doing listening to nothing against the band? Like I like that kind of music.
Yeah.
But that fits more into Sons than it would fit for Mayans.
Yeah. Um ugh,
I'm
what a
just saying.
series. What a series.
Yeah. And
Let's
and
yeah.
let's one thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, and you guys in the comment section correct me if I'm wrong. But a prospect can never sit at the table. Cannot. Prospect cannot even get into church at the table if unless they are getting patched.
So
That's why
are you talking about
Nestor
bottles
was
at the end?
yes.
I think he got patched.
Again, if you're gonna fucking do this, at least show that.
I'm pretty sure he was patched, same with Nestor, and then they all fucking died.
He got patched because he killed
Sophia.
Sophia.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you are completely losing your fan base by doing shit like that.
The fan base is gone. I think a lot of us that are on the comment section see that this show has been trash for a while. Very bad writing. Um,
Yes, I understand that it was just music. My comment, yes. There's a lot of bad shit that happened in the show, but there's too many details to bring it up. So yes,
no, I agree with the
it
music because the one thing when we started this Mayan series was the fact that this was all going to be a lot of the Mayans, right? Mayans are Mexican, they're Hispanic. So the
yeah.
one reason Kurt Sutter brought in Elgin James is because he's more into that culture, the Hispanic, the Mexican culture. So Sandra does make a good point. Is like if you're a part of that Mexican Hispanic culture, I even though I'm Mexican, I do listen to like Motorhead, ACDC, and all that stuff. But in a when it comes to shows and movies, you want a vibe, you want a setting, you want to feel the atmosphere, and that's gonna be like a Mexican music would work a lot better than Motorhead, and if they're celebrating like that. Another and especially like if they're having straight out Mexican music, like we the Mexican culture know what that's a party, that you don't have to understand the lyrics, but you can understand the feeling and the overall excitement that when you hear a loud ass, cry, or
Yeah,
you hear all the instruments, that is a Mexican party that's happening right now. I will say
go ahead.
too. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say, yeah. So, what were we gonna say, Sandra? I kind of forgot. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I
Honestly,
I it's just that so one of the question is why did Bottle kill Sophia? because Sophia knew too much about what was happening in the club. And now that they killed Easy, they had to kill her too. That again, that is what they did with the show. It was not necessary. The same way that it was not necessary to go kill not Trini, what was her name?
Oh,
It was Trini, Jess, and
I don't remember the girls' names.
yeah. So what? Because they knew too much and didn't want. At the end of the day, it didn't matter because there's nobody left in Santo Padre. So
That's it. Yeah, they all pretty much died. I think I saw a comment to one of the groups that said that if you have it on subtitles, the people who the police that raided says that some all pretty much they're down. They're down. All of them are down. So they obviously shot back. So they're all basically going to die. Which I kind of predicted that. I didn't see all of them getting out of it. They all had their chance, and that was it. We're gonna do comments in a little bit. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, just let us know. Let us talk a little bit about Easy though. Easy Reyes,
okay,
because he is the main guy. He never. I did not want. I liked JD Pardo. I liked Easy in the beginning. He turned into such a menace towards the end, which I think it could work. It could work, but the writing was just terrible. Um, but I always thought that in the beginning of the series they should have had a big name leading this, or they should have had Marcus Alvarez be the leader, and you could have had JD Pardo as the secondary lead, just like Walter White, Brian Cranston with Aaron Paul as Jesse. And a lot of people don't realize that Jesse in Breaking Bad wasn't even supposed to be a lasting character. They loved him so much in season one that they kept him on, and he became a co-lead. So I think that could have been absolutely amazing if you had Marcus Alvarez as the lead and JD Pardo and Easy as the co-lead, and then that makes the betrayal of last season even more sweeter because you would have had more time with Easy and Marcus, because Marcus would have been the lead, but they didn't do that. They didn't do that. Easy is, he had his superpowers in the beginning, completely went away. I think the acting of JD did. I think he did a good job acting, man. I think he did what he needed to do, what he was given to. He's not going to have the same impact, of course, as Jax. Hell, he won't even have the same impact as Opie. He just never elevated to a character that was memorable. There's a reason why there's not a lot of merchandise on sale for Mayans, is because there's nothing marketable here, because there's nothing fantastic here. So don't disrespect to any of the actors of this show. Like I said, the actor who plays Miguel did a great job too. Angel did a fantastic job. I do believe in the brotherhood between those two, Easy and Angel. I do like the ending, how they have that final conversation. I did like some of the dialogue when he does get stabbed, and he's making Angel stab him and telling him, just tell your son about me. So there was some good moments in there, and I think there was some good acting, definitely. But this character never reached the heights it needed to reach. He never did. The death on Easy was, as much as if it was tragic, and it kind of fits along the lines of what Kurt Sutter is liked about how, dealing with Shakespeare and death and Hamlet and stuff. It just never it kind of went to waste because of for the basically because they wasted these last two seasons with the war. To me, I just never felt this was a war. I never felt like Easy was the guy. And seeing this season, his slip and his fall was too sudden. He should have easily had a season where he was the president and he was doing good. We should have saw the upward battle he was having and the things he was conquering, like Alexander the Great, and then see his demise in the last season. But once again, everything rushed and everything not being written well that demise came earlier than expected. Like he just became president last season, like towards the tail end. And then we started this season with him fucking up already. So he was never able to reach the heights that he should have. Um, One of my final thoughts on Easy is that this was a character, like I said, that shouldn't have been the lead. He should have been the co-lead, and then maybe it took over on the final seasons. If you wanted to continue that storyline, in my heart of hearts, I believe Marcus Alvarez should have absolutely been the lead of Mayans because he was a familiar face from Sons of Anarchy. He was the face of Mayans, and you really fucked that all up. So that's my thoughts on Easy. Once again, great job by the actor. He did it. Hopefully, good things come to him in the future. I think he's gonna be get some good solid projects. He's just never gonna be a megastar.
No. Um, I have no problem with JD Pardo.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't do better than what the script says. That's simple as that. Um, but to your point, I think it would have been a better reaction to have two, three, 4 seasons of the dynamic between Marcus and Easy. And like Marcus showing him the rope the way it's supposed to be, and then he's gonna go with his, well, I see this better, and then going like rogue a little bit, and then the fight, and then like doing like, this is it, I'm kicking you out, I'm putting you
Yeah,
out. That would have been more impactful.
and we saw that with Clay and Jax. We saw that with Clay and Jax,
Yeah.
and then we even saw that with Jax and Chibs. Chibs was always the
Yeah.
ride or die. And then I think we could all agree when Chitz became president, we loved it because we knew how much, he was with Jackson stuff, even though he did kind of almost slip up in one of those seasons. Um, yeah. And I just have to point this out because before I lose it, before I forget about it, another thing that you were pointing out some of the things that storylines that went nowhere. What happened to Soledad? Where is she? Where's the cartel?
the the same place. You know what? And another, like, you're bringing up Soledad, but it would have been more impactful to know that the that Angel finds out that Luisa got killed. That would have been more impactful than just that. Oh, she left.
I don't mind that just because Adelita always did kind of have
Correct,
that.
but then you bring Soledad, you bring Miguel, you bring the whole thing
Yeah.
that all connects together.
Yeah, I mean, Riney 101, you got to bring Soledad back to finish a lot of the storylines that you did this season, especially with Miguel. Like, honestly, the climax should have been Miguel, Soledad, and maybe Adelita or something, or Potter, but that never happened. That never happened at
No.
all. Um, Sandra, how about we get to some of the comments? I'm gonna have you read off some of the comments that are in there if you see any. If you guys want to discuss, we're discussing, of course, the series finale and just overall Minds as a series. So if you guys have any comments or any thoughts on what you thought about just overall the ending, just let us know right now. So what you got? Anything, Sandra?
Let me see some of the um why the heck was Potter able to survive at the end? Well, you know what? We can say whatever we want to say, but Potter had the best monologue in the show. That scene with Easy at the end, outside the church, when he's talking about the birds like singing,
Yeah,
and that like when is end gonna come, the birds gonna continue singing.
that was
I
good.
mean, the guy doesn't even need somebody to do an interaction with him. He can do it by himself, and he steals the freaking scene.
And you know what? Are we also surprised that Potter survived? I don't think we're
No,
that
I'm not.
surprised. Yeah.
I'm not because the guy who was in the room with the DA said Potter has something up his sleeve, and he's gonna pull a rabbit out of his ass, and he's gonna, and then she says, no, 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 no. He, they know Potter. That's why they worked with him, because he can pull anything, all the tricks out of anything. He's gonna be able to do it. And what he did, thanks to him, they raided the club.
Well, a little bit of help with Emily too.
Yes, because she killed him, but still, like Potter, Potter is a genius. He is also a cockroach, but that's beside the point.
Cockroaches live.
They live forever, the cockroaches.
What else we got?
Uh, Diego said that he thought that Bishop told that you're the only one who reads Shakespeare. No, he says you're not the only one who reads Shakespeare, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're
So
not the
that's
only
what he
one.
said.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's reference to also, I mean, of course, with Jax and with Hamlet, but for this particular case, I want to say it's necessarily Shakespeare. It's more of history, where Easy went out like Julius Caesar, so getting stabbed by basically everybody, and Easy taking it, Easy saying like that was the only way that Angel was gonna walk, which I still can't believe that he walked so easily like that. Like they wouldn't even still take him out. So there was that. So Shakespeare, of course, Easy was wearing Shakespeare. He was reading The Art of War, which like all this stuff would have been fascinating, knowing this character is reading all this stuff, but it never really felt like he was like that, you know, a general or anything like that.
So we have a comment also. Isaac Packer went out as a coward. The way Isaac was for the past 3 seasons, for him to die like that, they did
Pitiful,
it. They did him wrong.
pitiful.
How dumb was it that they just ignored the pipeline plot on the last episode? Agreed 100%.
Yeah, so you don't have the mercenary guys coming to get revenge, or like, you
Yeah,
know, they didn't get their drugs and this. That's it. That
yeah,
is it.
and
Like, what
and
was the whole point?
the club, the cookhouse burned 2 episodes ago. So
And then
you're
you didn't
telling me
even
that all
have a
that
scene
time?
with Bottles mourning his friend.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Um, Angel talking about Easy. You did it, man. What the fuck did he do? Absolutely nothing. You are correct. He brought. I think he's the one that brought the most killing as a one person. Like all the killings that he did. So when they were in the church and he was like thinking about like his dad and everything, I'm like, you did so many people wrong that that is just fucking it's just coming back to you. Like, you know what? You deserve what you're getting because you
Angel
did
should have
wrong.
got what he deserved too. He has done a lot of wrong, so he's getting a second
Oh, he
chance.
did. He did. But the only way they let him go, and Bishop said, you kill him to be able to go with your son. Because at the end of the day, remember, Bishop and Angel, they had a conversation about his
Yes,
son.
and that's what I'm
And
talking about.
Bishop regrets not having doing that with his own son.
And that's what I'm talking about. These are conversations that should have been sprinkled in throughout the Mayan series. How are you able to have a strong brotherhood and believe in this if you don't have these conversations? So they did one good thing and had one conversation with Bishop and Angel, which never really happens in the series. That's the problem. The shit never happens in the series. But look at the
Correct.
impact. Look that little scene set up this big scene, and it made sense. Yet they're not, for some reason, they were not able to write all these characters like this throughout these 5 seasons, which is shame on them, shame on the writers and Elgin James. What the hell, man? You dropped the ball so hard, but you did this one little thing because you knew Angel was
Mhm.
going to survive this all.
Yeah, because that conversation, that's why it says you want to leave with your son, you better kill your brother
Yeah.
because it's brotherhood over blood. Kind of surprised that all the Sons of Anarchy didn't come down to Santo Prade to take
You
revenge for
guys
the
thought
Mayans.
Jax was going to come in for a flashback.
Well, no, you know what? That was the rumors, true. But again, for for Charming not coming down, A, for the revenge of Happy, and B, knowing that they killed the whole San Bernardino chapter. Yeah, stupid.
They didn't have the money.
Okay, don't tell me that they couldn't put Quinn. Just send Quinn, but at least have a Charming. Like maybe we don't even know. Maybe there was Charming guys that were in the bar because I could see. I saw at one point there was Nevada, so it was not just San Bernardino that was at the party.
I
There
swear
was
to
other
God, if it's
charters.
charming guys in there, that's the biggest slap in the face to all. I don't think so,
That
though. I don't
well,
think so.
would
I don't think that
how would
happened,
that?
though.
But never say never, my friend.
I'm gonna say never, Sandra.
Never say
99.9
never.
percent. No way. There's any charming members in that bar.
If there was an Abel spin-off, do you believe Chips would let him join Sam Crow?
Whew,
Oh, good question.
that's a good question.
Good question.
I can't even remember my video that I made a long time ago what I said, but I think I did say in the long lines that maybe Chids would be in jail. That
Why
Chids
would
would.
Chip be in jail?
I forgot why. I think even me and Taylor were discussing it, but let's just say Chids was still leading the charge, right?
Yes.
Um, yes, I think he would. I think he'd still let him in. I think he'd be hesitant and tell him no at first, but they would break him down, and he would probably see greatness like he did in Jax, and see like the teller name continue on. The problem is the club is not legitimate. So everything that Jax did at the end of that series finale was for nothing. The only thing that keeps his legacy intact is the fact he didn't want his boys to be involved in the club. And we already knew Kurt Sutter was planning to do all these series, including Abel and Thomas. So that would have went out the window. This is why Mayans hurt the legacy of Jax more than maintained it, because we found out a lot that that everything he sacrificed for was for nothing, except for the Wendy cameo confirming that the boys are doing fine. They're on dirt bikes than motorcycles. So um, you can't get the show going unless Chip says the okay, yes. Because there's no show if the boys are not going to be in the club. There's a show. I mean, it'd be an interesting twist if it's a show about them trying to tear down the club. That would be awesome. But it'd be something unique. I'd be all for uniqueness on that. Uh, but that's not going to happen. And the route to go would have them be in the club. So I'm gonna say at first no, he'd say no, but then he'd break down and bring them in.
Okay. Terry gave up the location. Maybe that's why the Mayans surprised the Suns. Yes, I
Yeah, he
agree.
did. He did.
Terry gave everything, but what happened to Terry after?
We don't
We
know.
don't know. That's the part that I hate. Oh, so this one you can comment. I cannot comment. But I have somebody that says this finale was as bad as the series finale of Game of Thrones.
No,
It was not as bad.
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. Game of Thrones. You gotta be the goat before you make that claim. The Game of Thrones was the goat of the shows, and then it totally went to shit at the end and shat on all the character development, all the good writing, everything. So with Mayans, there were never was a point where it was good writing, fantastic characters. It was just mediocre. So no, it was not as
So
bad.
so who was the worst?
Who was the worst on with the characters in Game
The
of
worst
Thrones?
the worst finale was Game of Thrones worse than Mayans.
Yes, yes. Game of Thrones was worse.
Okay.
Worse. I'm saying is that they did everything right until the very end, and they shat the bed. So that was the most heartbreaking series finale, season, last season series finale. Just the most heart. It was devastating. It was devastating. Hmm.
One comment that I agree that could have made season five more interesting is that might be an interesting storyline with Easy and Angel finding out that Miguel is their brother.
Would
That
have,
could have been a good uh, storyline into season five.
would have,
I
but they didn't do it.
well, no, well, they didn't do shit fuck all at the end of the day.
Hmm.
So much story went off screen. It's like time traveling. Agreed, 100%.
Too much,
Uh,
yeah, too much vanishing acts and then cut reappearing. We talked about this multiple times where you would have characters come in, then you want to see them for 3 episodes, and they come back and bring the storyline back to the fold. Soledad, like we said, Soledad wasn't even in these last like 3 episodes. That was it. That was it. That was it from Soledad. She did her little warning, and that was it.
we have fans of Emily here.
Oh man.
Uh, Emily was a wasted character.
Oh,
Emily was just there. Emily Scott Free was such a cop out. Emily and Letty were useless characters. See,
useless.
see, see, like the fan is spoken. Um,
Letty and Hope, all that was just absolute nonsense. We did not need it.
so are the Mayans MC as the club dead and gone? Yes. There's well, actually, no.
Not the
Mayans
club.
Santo Padre is dead. There's nobody left on Santo Padre.
Yeah.
But the other charter are still alive, and there's also the Grim Bastards with them.
Yes. So there is. It was just the Santo Padre club.
Actually, there was only six member left, to be honest. Six or five.
They should have died a long
Gilly
time ago.
Bishop, Hank, Bottles, Nest. Oh, there's six.
Ibarra's son.
Yes.
Ibarra's son.
What if Abel and Thomas meet up with Emily's son? Rewrite the Mayan story.
No, that would never happen.
Well, Cristobal is like 5 years younger than Abel and Thomas,
Yeah.
so there's a gap of age on that.
That storyline is closed.
Santo Padre is no more. Nope, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sons of Anarchy finale was way better. The whole show was better, to be
Yeah.
honest. But yes, definitely. Battles got patched in. Okay, so if he got patched in, why
We
didn't
didn't
they
see it.
show him getting patched in at the same time as Nestor?
Nestor getting patched in too. How sad. He gets patched in and then he's dead. He finally
Yeah,
gets patched in. Yeah. And then Nestor was one of the most wasted characters too. Uh,
totally,
yeah.
totally. Uh, I think Bottomed and Meteor were patched in. Somehow they had a seamstress at the clubhouse to stitch those after killing Easy. Yeah, well, again, things that we don't see, we don't know.
Yeah.
See Bishop, Bubbles, Nestor, and Hank dodged the bullet and left. Left where? I mean, there's no exit door,
They were
and there
sitting
was
right
like
there.
there was
Yeah.
there was about like 375 ETF
Outside and
agents.
inside.
Yeah, so I don't know how they would dodge unless they had like a secret passage somewhere.
The only they do have a secret pack. Remember they had the underground.
Correct, but the underground was not from the the church. It
Oh,
was
it was
not
somewhere
from
else,
there.
wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah, it was somewhere else.
I mean, there might be one that are injured. There might have been a survivor. No, I mean,
We will
but
never find out.
no.
Okay, question. Why did Balo kill Sophia? So we talked about it because she knew too much.
Yeah, Sophia was a
Uh,
wasted character as well.
yes,
The whole storyline with her boyfriend coming back and forgiving her, so dumb,
yes.
unnecessary.
We have call me heartless, but I could care less. They killed Sophia. She was weird as hell. Anyways, goodbye, Sophia and baby.
That's a little harsh. That is pretty harsh. It's just a show. It's
Mm,
just a show. But like in reality, you never want to see any woman who's pregnant harmed, or just in general. Like it's just, it was very mean spirited, to throw that in there. It could have affected same outcome. Didn't need her to be pregnant.
true. Tig and Chip would have wanted revenge for Happy. A hundred
Absolutely,
percent. A
absolutely.
100%, because they knew. Mr. Lincoln Potter says, maybe I can convince the writers to give me my own spin off without Elgin James.
I'm
I'll have my
sorry.
own writers and cast.
Sorry, Lincoln Potter, you're just not that good of an actor to carry a show.
He is weird, that we have to admit.
You're better suited for a secondary character. You are not the main lead.
Yes, this was painful to watch as a fan. They messed Easy up. Agreed.
Easy was kind of all
Uh,
over the place, but I think they stuck to their kind of guns last season. Like, okay, we're gonna make him the villain, so to speak. We're gonna
yeah.
we're gonna we're gonna give him a downfall. We're gonna give him a tragic downfall. It's the same as Sons, man. It's just this, Jax was a tragic downfall. These two just went through it differently, and one was more of a leader than the other.
But they developed Jax better than they developed Easy.
Yes, they did. They did. Easy. There were some moments that I'm like, okay, you could see it, but then Jax obviously was a lot better. There was more meaningful ties, he or more meaningful loose ends he was able to get rid of. Like, I mean, it was more impactful when he had to go and kill Gemma, and you know he got the club kind of going the right way. So he was a more tragic character, because there was many a times in the series that you knew he could have left with the kids and he just didn't.
It might have been better show if Marcus took Easy under his wing. A hundred
That's what he
percent
said.
agree.
That's what we said. It would have been more because you already had that in the show where Marcus took a liking to Easy. Do that in the very beginning. Actually, hell, I don't know. Can this happen, Sandra? Can't the president sponsor somebody, or does it have to be one of just the members?
I think the president can.
He can, right? So Marcus could have sponsored Easy,
Yeah.
made him a prospect, and saw it's kind of like a video game, right? It's kind of like a video game. You start from the bottom and then you work your way up, but you see all the development and you see what you're going through. You have to do missions, you have to do this. So Marcus would have done that. He would have had Easy go on missions, level up, and actually treat him maybe like the son that he killed back in the day, that Happy killed. Like he would have probably viewed Easy as a son, and then that makes it even more tragic. And that could have gave even Easy a more tragic, more emotion towards his death, because we knew how much Marcus liked them, and we knew how hard Easy did all this work for Marcus. And you would have absolutely could have wrote that maybe Easy and Marcus, when they finally do split and he finally betrays Marcus, that there's two sides that you could agree on. Easy could have had a good point. Marcus had a good point. Could have had a good point. And then that's how we could have got our last couple seasons, with Easy taking over as president, and then knowing that Easy did have to make that decision. If he ever wanted to do something, then he would have to out Marcus. But they never went that route. They never developed it. It, and another problem is that Sutter was handling these two seasons, and then it was Elgin James. Well, technically, Elgin James is supposed to handle those two seasons, and then Kurt Sutter was like kind of the man who was speaking to him. But if you watch those behind the scenes of the first season, especially, you will see Kurt Sutter not letting Elgin do that, and really him having all his fingerprints on a lot of the production. And that's why I thought Elgin, give Elgin time to breathe, let him do his thing. Let's see how he does. Unfortunately, Elgin didn't carry the ball. He really dropped it and just kept on like just dragging it with
Well,
him.
if I'm not mistaken, Kurt Sutter actually re 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 refilmed most of the season one. It was
I
filmed. He
think no,
didn't
he did
like it,
the
and he redid it.
I
He
think
redid something.
he redid the pilot, I believe.
Yeah, I knew he
First
redid
episode.
something.
First episode, yeah. And he did that for Sons too. So he did that
Yes.
twice. Yeah.
I think it would have been better with just more biker groups in the area and more bikers war about drugs or terrify or stuff like that gritty stuff. Yes, for a bikers TV show, we didn't see shit fuck all about that.
It never felt like a biker show. It felt like more of a dramatic show.
Yeah. Um. This season was a disappoint was so disappointing. Why did they bring up Miguel as a half brother in season 2 for Easy and Angel to never find out? Agreed.
Talked about that.
Uh or a better impactful would have been if Miguel telling the brothers that he lost his father, not his brother. That that would have been a good conversation in church when he said, "You're not the only one who lost your father. I lost my father too." That
Well,
would have been a spin, but
we
it's
do
too late.
we do have to remember too. He said that Felipe had no right. He doesn't call him father. He calls his father that raised him. So I can get that too. I will say, I liked Miguel. I liked Miguel, and his death was so anticlimactic. And God, Emily took a father away from his son when she just it's just the rightfulness. Like, why does Emily get to live and Miguel doesn't? They both were both pieces of shits, and Miguel should have killed Emily when he had the chance.
Agreed. Mayans felt like three different shows in one. That's a pretty good statement.
Yeah,
So much for a war that's been building since season 4. It all ended in 5 minutes. What the fuck was that, Elgin?
that war,
I like that.
it was just to get you guys to watch. That's
Mm,
all it was.
yup. Uh, Even more surprising that Cody slash Katie was still alive. Um, Mr. Potter. Uh, yeah, Lincoln is still on a spinoff.
Lincoln, you're not gonna get it, buddy.
Sutter writing and direction is what makes SOA so great. If you would have stayed, Mayans would have been a lot better. I can agree with that.
Orion says no Mayans logo at the end. Was hoping they played the theme song at the end of the episode. The song Nunca. I agree. I missed that. That theme song was actually really grew on me, and I really liked that theme song, but they didn't play that.
And did anybody realize that the starting credit on this one was like a minute and a half long instead of the 30 seconds? It lasted so long this time. I think it was to put everybody that was supposed to be there, but I'm like, this is a long entrance this episode.
Double Enslaved said pilot was reshot. Yeah, the pilot was reshot. He's done that twice. Where's
Wait, and well, that was actually the comment. Wait, how was Angel able to walk when the raid happened moments after Easy dying?
don't know.
Another waste was Taza. Like, why did Taza came just for the funeral and then that's it?
Uh Dan should have been writing the Mayans all along. I did go to film school, and that was one thing I really loved about film school was the script writing. I can't I don't have grammar. I write for shit. But if I were in the writer's room, I can bounce ideas and question a lot of this writing. So me per se being the head writer, no. Me giving ideas and suggestions, yes.
Mayan series finale result: Easy defeated Packer by a quick roll up. That pretty much sums it up.
Now we can get a new
Uh,
show that lets us go down memory lane with the start and end of Sons and Mayans. I don't know if we're going to get a new show, guys. I honestly don't know. There's a lot of talk, but right now they can't do anything, obviously, because of the writers and
mm-mm.
the actors strike. So there's nothing. Even if they were to have something on the board, they cannot do nothing right now. And I don't think you're going to get another spin-off or anything series of Sons of Anarchy or anything Mayans after many years. Give it 10 years.
And by the way, somebody just said, just get the Mayans DVD for the deleted scene. They don't even create the DVDs anymore. They ended on season three. No, on
Oh,
season
really?
two. There's only two seasons on DVD. They didn't even do three, four, and five. So forget about the deleted scenes. And then I don't even think there's deleted scenes in one and two because I do have those DVDs and they were so cheaply done. Yeah. So there's no DVDs for Mayans, by the way.
Tunnel was Vicky's. That's right. It was the tunnels belonged to Vicky.
Yes. That's why I'm like, there was no tunnel out of the clubhouse.
Kind of sucks that it was the ATF that killed Santo Padre Mayans and not Sam Crow. Yeah, I would have
Agreed.
actually liked the Sam Crow or just in general
Yes.
Sons of Anarchy taking out Mayans, but they went out like that, man.
What the fuck was up with Taza coming back for one episode and then having that scene with him and Bishop asking him if he wants to come back just for it to go nowhere. That is the flow of Mayans in 5 seasons.
The cartel story, Miguel storyline took up too much screen time that could have been used on the club. They want to know how to use that damn screen time anyway.
Yeah.
You
Terry's
you know
face
a lot of that stuff could have worked. It could have
yeah.
worked. It's just they don't know how to present it or make it tight.
Terry's fate is unknown. Yeah, just like Taza. Like actually the only no, he's not even Santo Prada anymore. He's Nomad. So Taza is alive. Good thing that they didn't want him back.
The one guy who started this whole thing is alive.
Yeah. Well, while I read more, there's somebody who wants to know what was wrong with Game of Thrones ending.
I'm just reading that
Explain.
slave. Just know that the wheelchair guy got the throne for what I remember. I mean, I don't want to dive right into. It's not Game of Thrones time to talk. It's Mayans time to talk. But I will say that the reason why Game of Thrones ending was just horrible is because a lot of the characters got butchered in all their storylines, arcs, was just thrown away. Thrown away. Didn't make sense. A lot of time travel there. It was just very stupid.
Well, I
All
guess
right.
we met each other with the comments because I started from the bottom going
Yeah, we met
up.
each other right
So
now.
yeah, we met each other.
Let me see. They time travel in this show. Too much of screen storytelling. Yep.
What happened to Cole and his threat to kill Easy if Easy didn't deliver the drugs? Yeah, stay tuned. You might get that in probably in 17, 18 years if they do like another spin-off of a spin-off. But yeah, we don't know what happened with him either.
So Dan, would you question Sutter writing easy as a rat? So many loopholes with the angle. Also, would you agree with Sutter having Marcus working with the cartel in season 1 ending? Well, I don't know what Sutter's game plan was. When you're going into, let's just say like a Game of Thrones or just overall like Vince Gilligan in Breaking Bad, things along the show happen and you write it in the show. But there's most of the time, you can even say like Star Wars, right? George Lucas had knew what he wanted to do in the beginning, and if he had enough time to do the other stuff, he made a cohesive one movie ending that even if they didn't get picked up for another movie, that was the ending. With Kurt Sutter, I'm assuming like he would have the thought process like everybody else does, that he had a beginning in mind, he had a middle in mind, and then he had an overall ending in mind. He definitely had a beginning and end in mind. So a lot of the things that you see in season one and season two is groundwork to what he eventually wanted to do in further on story and seasons and overall completion of the series. I don't know. I don't know what what Kurt Sutter's original plan was. I don't know what it would have looked like. I don't know if it would have succeeded or failed. All I know is that Disney fired him. Elgin took over, and I'm sure Kurt told him some things of where the story was going to go to. But I think Elgin and his crew did their own thing, and maybe there were some elements of the beginning of the process that are in the ending. We won't know that until Elgin actually talks about it. But I couldn't tell you like if I would agree with Kurt or not. I could just tell you that once Kurt was got fired, is that he handpicked Elgin to run the series, and that was the worst decision he could do because Elgin did not capitalize on become making this series his own and doing justice to it. I think he kind of failed on that part.
Anyone else wish Isaac put up a better fight? He
Of
was such
course.
a cool and crazy villain. That fight would have been amazing if there was actually a fight. Yeah, but there was no fight. It was just like easy took over Isaac, which is funny because Isaac went through so much from when he was with Coco into his like his drug place, and then he's done so much for him to be just like somebody said, he died as a coward, and that defeats the whole purpose of what Isaac was.
So I just want to get talk that we've done this. This has been a crazy ride, man. We've been like I said, we started with Taylor. Honestly, Taylor started this. Sandra, you with Taylor, and then I came into the fold, and then I pretty much took over for the Okiest Taylor.
Yes.
Um, so shout outs to Taylor wherever she's at. Maybe she is watching some of these podcasts. I don't know. We haven't talked for a very long time, but still much love for her and her family. And I'm glad she did start this, and I'm glad that I did pick it up so I get to meet everybody and of course talk to Sandra. Sandra's one of my good friends now since we started this. Um, you know, it's I know we bitched a lot. I know we complained a lot. I know it's little things that we liked about this series. But that's what it is, man. If you're on this channel, you're not going to get bullshit. You're going to get the exact truth of what we thought about a season or an episode, characters. We would still say the same thing for Sons of Anarchy. If we were if Sons of Anarchy was premiering right now, if we were on season 5 of Sons of Anarchy, would tell you what was the good, what was the bad. I think we could all agree that when Jack's kids gets kidnapped, that was one of the worst seasons. Um, but we tell you the truth, and it sucks that Mayans never lived up to the hype that everybody wanted it to, and maybe we should have got a first nine first and then carried on to the other series, but it didn't work that way. Um, but all you guys have been great. We said this was going to be the last ride. I actually didn't think I was going to do this last season. Sandra convinced me to do this last season. It was very hard last season, and this season, this is the once they said it was the finale, the final season, I'm like, all right, let's one last ride. Let's ride into the sunset here. So I want to take the time to thank everybody who has been commenting over these 5 years and commenting on the Sons of Anarchy content I put out, the Mayans content that I put out, and we're going to try to keep the ball rolling with other shows. I know this channel hasn't really covered a lot of different shows or movies. It's just time consuming. Dan Demand gets tired and he doesn't want to do any content sometimes. He wants to just kind of live his life, which I think a lot of you guys are living. Hopefully are living your best life. Um, it's it's definitely been crazy, man. 5 years, 5 years of this stuff, 5 years of coming in, getting the season announced, 5 years of the podcast, 5 years of reviews, 5 years of spoiler reviews, 5 years of discussing, 5 years. I hope there's
5
another 5 years.
But you know what the funny thing is on top of that is we've been spending 5 years together talking about Mayans, and we went through a pandemic together.
Nuts, right? Nuts.
Isn't that nuts? We started and ended a pandemic while all together here.
So we've all been together. I see your guys' names. You guys have I recognize everybody. I see you guys commenting on my other videos saying when are you gonna talk Mayans when it's not even a Mayan video. So but it's such love the thank you for the love. I know some people did unsubscribe because of my viewpoints and stuff. But I'm gonna keep it real, man. I mean, either you're gonna watch this or you're not. If you're gonna watch us speak or you're not. But I do hope there's another 5 years of more content for Sons of Anarchy or anything like that. I do hope that we do get some more of this stuff because even though this didn't end maybe well for us, doesn't mean that the next series won't. Doesn't mean that you're never gonna know unless you don't try. Just don't have Elgin James run it. uh, so yeah, guys. I mean, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here for 5 years. And I don't have a beer in my hand, but I want to say cheers to everybody, including this wonderful woman right here, Sandra, who has been had my back for 5 years, and we will continue to discuss a lot of different content on this channel because this channel is not going to die. This channel, there's going to be more content. It's just not going to be pumping out like I used to be able to do back in the day when I didn't have a kid, when I didn't have a family. But now Dan Man's getting older. He's has more responsibility. He barely does has any time to do anything. He needs vacations. He needs to go to Comic Con. But the one thing I do not regret is being here, setting up our streams, setting up the reviews. There have been nights where I had to watch Mayans at 12 at midnight, and then right after 12 at midnight, edit and put out your guys' videos. So it was a lot of hard work. But thank you guys. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. Um, yeah, man. I just hope there's more content. I really do. I hope that FX and Disney gets their head out of their ass and knows that there's still a fan base here. But to give us a proper either spin-off or a prequel. So we will be talking, Sandra. We'll be doing Snowfall. I think that's the one thing that we're going to absolutely do. Before I leave, I do want to leave some recommendations because that's what I do in this channel. It's not just one series, it's also media and movies and TVs. If you haven't already, like I said, on FX, there's a fantastic show called The Bear. Go watch that. There's 2 seasons. Third season's on the way. Absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10. That's what keeps me going. Another series is What We Do in the Shadows. Absolutely fantastic. Go watch that. A lot of people are seeming to like the new Justified show, Primal, I believe it's called. I'm gonna probably get into that. I need to watch the original series Justified. I hear it's really good with Timothy Oliphant, I believe his name is. Another one too in the cinema. If you guys do love movies, go check out Oppenheimer. It's a fantastic movie, 3 hours long, with Christopher Nolan. So that's a recommendation I give. I can only watch it once because there was a one-time only movie, but it's still a masterpiece. Hell, if you guys are not into the feminist movement, do not watch Barbie. But Barbie was not too bad, I guess. Um, and then you know what? Go watch Sons of Anarchy again. The beauty of it, Sons of Anarchy, is will always be there. It will always be a binge watch. Go watch it. So I will probably rewatch Sons of Anarchy as well because I got that's what Mayans did good was made me want to go back and watch Sons as well and see everybody that we loved and stuff. And I'm sure Sandra will see all the guys on some of the conventions in the future. So I got to hear those stories. But Sandra, is there any final things you want to say after we log out of our final Mayans MC podcast and then we look into the future?
I want to thank everybody. First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me into your stream. and letting me do this 5 years with you, because that basically, it was originally was Taylor's show, and she invited me as a special guest, and then we started doing it every week. And the same thing with you. It was your show, and then you inviting me, and then it just became like a show, the two of us talking about it. So thank you very much. Thank you for everybody who watched us, commented, argued with us, agreed with us. It was just fun, because that's what the whole thing is about. Is hate it, love it. We're all here talking about it, and we're having fun. So I'm hoping to be able to do something else with you like this. I think it's fun. We get to meet people from all over, and I think this is what it's all about. Like, a lot of us are by ourselves at home, and we don't have like anybody around that area that we can watch shows together. But thanks to streaming now
Hmm.
and doing this, we are all connected, and we can all talk and do whatever we want. And that is the beauty of the streaming and the internet and everything. So until the next show, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Dan, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you guys. It's been a real pleasure. Please go check out more on my content on the on this channel. Recently, I've been putting out the Comic Con shorts that when I went to go visit Comic Con. Hopefully, I get to meet some of the Sons of Anarchy, even maybe Mayans people in the future as well, like Sandra. Uh, but yes, a huge. I'm just gonna say this one more time. A huge, huge thank you to Taylor. Taylor, we miss you. We hope you're doing okay. And yeah, we I know your fan base here misses you too. And yeah, guys, hell of a 5 years. Um, thank you guys. We're signing off for the last time. I'm Dan the Man, aka Daniel's son. I am out of here. Bye, guys. See you, Sandra, real soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.